Hey everybody, how you guys are doing? How you guys are doing? Rock and come in. Resilient Queen is here. Rock and come in. Rock and come in. What's going on, people? What's going on? Resilient Queen is here today. What's going on? Yeah, man. Bless up on yourself, man. Greetings, manners of our respect to each and every one of you. VIPs, silent watchers, we call you VIPs, upgrade VIPs, what's going on? Big up to yourself, moderators, subscribers, likers, sharers, commenters, top fans. What go on? Yeah, just come on here a little bit to talk with you guys. This I talk to you, you talk to me. So what good on family? What's going on? Yes, man. There. Now, meantime, rock on coming, people. Let me go throw in my plate. They're supposed to come in here too, so let me throw in my plate, then they can come back. Hold on. Hold on, me. I'll be right back. Me, I come, people. Me go throw in my plate. Let me throw in my plate. Rock and company. Rock and company. Rock and
Truly, also on Thursday, we have one-on-one with Glenn Powell talking about his new series, Cat Powers, and so much more. He's a really cool guy. So we're talking about that. Right now, we are diving into
rock and company. Yeah, yeah. Say rock, rock, rock and come in, yeah, yeah. Yeah, family. Ooh, I'm back, I'm back, I'm back, I'm back. Yeah, no much I cook me some rice and beans, baked bean. So we just eat some rice and baked bean this morning. There's some rice and baked bean we eat this morning. Not much long because we never eat nothing this morning. Because I had to run and take care of that matter that I was talking about this morning. So I went and take care of that this morning, yes. Because I was calling and nobody was answering. But when I went to the department, the housing place, they said they can't do anything about that. They won't show me the footage, so they told me to go report it. So that's what I did. So so they asked if the place have camera and all of that. I told them yes, and they said okay. So within, they said if I haven't heard from a detective or something within a few days, give them a call back. But where I live will be, they said just so you know, it will be monitored for 3 days. So 3 days they will be monitoring, like circle around the area, double check, make sure everything good. So that's the update on that and everything. We don't take nothing lightly, people. We don't play around, okay? Petty behavior lead up to everything else, okay? A lot of things just get out of hand. So that's on that. But I will always keep you guys updated as to see because the housing, I went down there this morning, but they said they can't show me the camera, and they said for whatever reason, they said because if they show you the camera and you know who did it, or after you seeing the footage or anything, they don't want you go knock on nobody's door and go retaliate or anything. Cause you never know. You can't read people's mind. You know what I mean? So I said, okay, I understand. But they said the best bet is to do report it, but at least I reach out. So, cause we don't play around. We don't play around. You know. Never play around people. Petty behavior always lead up to something else. And I think I end up post a short on I post a video of the picture of it on my car, where it was placed on my car this morning. So if you guys want to go take a look at the shot, you will see where I had to blur it out because I was upset this morning when I like you walk outside not knowing that what is going on. You're like, where they blank. So I had to put sound in the background so you guys could hear me get upset. Because I'm trying to be respectful to my community. You know what I mean? I want to be rude to my community. So I put it up on the short there so you could see what was left on my car this morning. So we call that petty behavior. But when somebody, it's one thing when somebody does put something down. They don't touch a car, they just put something down on it. But it's one thing when they touch something to put something down. That's more than what you're thinking. You know what I mean? And you can't read minds. So we gotta also remember, bear that in mind when it's come out and you see anything. Because a couple months back I see, I be seeing scratches and all kind of stuff on my car. I'm like, man, this car scratch up already. So I move it from that location and put it to the other location. So but it's a good thing the building have green light and all of that, so they should be able to first see who did it. But we just leave the matter for everybody, for them to take care of that. You know what I mean? Just want you guys to let you guys know that I'm not playing, so I go ahead and do what I had to do to take care of that part of it. So yeah. But other than that, I come back home and I get something to eat. Mickey said that messed up. Yes, man, that messed up. You know what I mean? Very messed up. And so that's why I'm saying I'm shedding light out here, because a lot of time people might go outside and see something put on your car. If it's not, let me tell you, only time somebody have a right to touch your vehicle. Like when you're a car note. Remember, you're in a contract with somebody. When you pay car note, they have the right to touch your car anytime if you're not paying it. You know what I mean? Because you're into a contract with them. You sign a contract. And if you don't pay it, they can take that back, you know what I mean? But when people, Navel say, love from Ghana, Africa, bless up yourself, man. Greetings, man. Top fans, good evening, Mickey and Navel. Good evening, Hunter and Brownie said, am superior to you. All right, bless up on yourself, man. Manners, love, and respect. So I'm just sharing these things because other people could be seeing things. And it don't necessarily mean that it's the same thing have to happen to you. It could be anything in your life and you see something petty. And even if you have a slight idea of who did it, or so, don't just sit down, because when people send in your message, they start off petty. They do start off petty. It's like people leave sticking out around our messages here, messages there, and sometimes you just slide that under the rug and say, "Sure." But you never know. A lot of things lead up to a lot of stuff in life. Only a coward would sneak and vandalize a car. Yes, man. People do things nowadays that just about anything. Anything people will go the extreme for nowadays. And that's why I'm sharing my journey. So when people out here and you say, only God is superior. Yeah, man. Bless up yourself, Damien. Yeah, man. The one God, we say, bless up him, man. He's the greatest. You know what I mean? So that's why I'm shedding light. And when I go through stuff, because others could be out here and say, sure, that's nothing. But look how many things are leading up to petty behaviors. A lot of petty behavior stuff lead up to what you see. The outcome is of life. Somebody could be harassing you in their mind, and in their head they see you outside and hey, hailing you and all these things, laughing in your face, and same time doing damage to you and you don't even know, because you can't read mind. We cannot read mind. None of us in this world. None of us. Not even who is in charge of the nation or the people of the country or the state or wherever you are. Nobody can read mind. Not even the judge that is trying to see between which is which, or which is not, even then can read mind. You know what I mean? So that's why we can't play with petty behaviors. Petty behaviors, you knit it quick. You know what I mean? Because people sending you a strong warning or a strong signal, you have to make sure you send them a strong warning too, by using the law to send them a strong signal that you don't mess with people, okay? You are right. It's always start small and get worse. Yes, man. And that is always how petty behavior happen. Even recently we have a couple people who, it come on the news where people lose their life or something, and it was just petty behavior. Petty behavior. It start off petty, where like somebody stalking somebody or messing with somebody, sending them texts if they have their phone number or whatever it is. And sometimes, you might report it and it don't go anywhere further, but they need to start have a penalty fee in law. They need to start prosecute these people. When I mean prosecute them, send a strong warning to them that if this is ever happen again, this is what next gonna happen, so that you can curtail some of these petty behavior. Because Whether we like it or not, that is what leading up to a lot of stuff. It's like you have a little cut and you don't pay it any attention, but you have an underlying issue. And that little cut, like for example, people who have diabetes or so, they can't afford to let one little cut just sleep underneath the rug, because sooner or later it can get expand, into something else. Same thing with life. If you know what you've been through before, or you encountered this in your life before, never take anything lightly. Never. And we're living in a era now of life where nobody can take nothing lightly. Even if somebody say, I didn't mean nothing, they could tell you they didn't mean nothing, but literally you can't read their mind. You just go back, you cannot read mind. None of us, we can't read mind. Because I'm telling you, if we could read mind, those people that have passed off by petty behaviors, they would have never passed away. They would still be here today. Because they would have wrote a different way. They probably would have called off work. They probably wouldn't go to their house tonight, or wherever they were going, they would have canceled for wherever they were. You see what I'm saying? So we can't read minds. So we can't just sit down and think that, oh, that's just petty and that is not nothing necessary. Hey, the things you think don't necessary, that's what lead up to things that become necessary now. The things we say is unnecessary are the things that are becoming necessary now. Because then somebody, if anything happened, for God forbid, then you have to say, can you recall anybody and you encounter? Can you say, when was the last time you say anything to anybody? Did you encounter anybody? Did you see anything? Now you start to backtrack yourself and start to think and say, where was I in the last 2 days or yesterday? Now you leading you to think. You know what I mean? Because now you have to backtrack yourself now to see where you were in life. Just saying. So that's why I'm just documenting these things so others can be aware out here. Be alert. Never think that nothing can knock on your door. We're alive. If man who gone, nothing ain't knocking on his door no more, because he's no longer here. But the persons who are still here like us, we don't know when nothing gonna knock on our door, no matter how much we think we say, because that's a private parking lot. Green light, everything, they're right here. But then it can still be right there, and people petty. People petty, they don't care. We've seen several things happening right in the eyes of camera. So, the petty behavior of this world. So it just goes to show that when people willing to go to the extreme, they start off petty. And you might not know why they do what they did, but it's an indication to tell you to be on your alert. Even if you weren't aware of your surrounding, or you think that, hey, I moved to a different location, so I'm good, I'm alright, and all these things. But when something knock on your door, it send you right back to tell you that, hey, you can't always let your guard down. You can't get too comfortable. You can't get too relaxed, because you don't know what is going to happen. You know what I mean? So when I'm sharing these things, I'm just sharing them for others out here to always be aware and alert. And even if it's not nothing, no matter who, doesn't matter who, you let people know. You see, petty behavior you don't play with. And knit it early, knit it quick. You know what I mean? Because we've seen it happen. We've seen it over and over where petty behavior, that's also why I own a weapon. Yes, man. But sometimes you own the weapon too. You don't even consider the petty behavior as being petty. You know what I mean? And that's the problem. The petty behavior is what throw off a lot of people. Because you say, sure, it don't mean nothing. You might just brush it off. It's like, you ever see leaf drop on your truck? Like when breeze blowing and when you start have the fall and it's bunch of leaves and you just sweep off the leaves. You weren't thinking nothing of it, because you say it's just the wind blow the leaves there. But not thinking anything of it, and you say, sure. Because the petty behaviors is a tactic, to throw you off and make you just think like, no. And then sooner or later, then you realize, but it can be too late too. It can be too late. And make sure you have somebody that you can always communicate with as well. You know what I mean? Because in a petty behavior, you not even want to use your weapon either. So and then having a weapon, you still have to be careful, because if somebody don't threaten your life or anything, you can't just go out there and use a weapon either. So in everything, you still got to be mindful, and that's why you got to be aware, because you can't read mind. It's just so funny. And yes, man, you say, Be still and say, hey, queen. And Mickey said, yeah, nothing is a coincidence. Yes, man. Yes, man, that is so true, you know. And that's why we have to be careful, because sometimes you may be pointing fingers at a stranger, but stranger don't do you anything. You got to be somebody that know you, watch you. Sometimes you don't have to know them as in they know who exactly you are per se, but they see you go in and out, day in, day out, minding your own business. Sometimes you might see them and stop and they say, hey, how you doing? You chit chat for a little bit, not realizing that these people are plotting against you, are trying to do harm with you. You know what I mean? Can you as I go back again? We cannot read mind. You know what I mean? Because if we could read mind, all the people who had encountered petty behavior are no longer here with us. They would have changed their location. They wouldn't have said what they said to anybody. They would have just everything just probably go off of the radar. And nobody know where they at or anything. Maybe one person is somebody who they can trust, maybe they mother or they father, depending on who messing with them. You know what I mean? So it just goes to show how we crazy. You know, I was watching a YouTuber yesterday and she said she was watching this movie. And even though it was a movie, but these things play out in real life. She said it was a Netflix movie she said she was watching. And I was listening to her yesterday where she said somebody was sending, in the movie, somebody was sending the kid, a young 15-year-old, some bunch of text messages and Ray and blah blah. And she said when they said they need to get to the nitty gritty part of it to see who these text messages is coming from, even though it was a movie she was portraying, you know, talking about. And she said even though they were trying to see where this who was sending these messages, who was behind the texting and all of these things, and only to realize it when they had the Fed investigate now and see who was it. It was coming from the parents for the child, even though the parents was the one trying to demand who was behind this. You know why they doubt are getting all these scripted messages and everything. Little did they know that the same people them who was wanting to know what was going on, they were the one the mastermind behind it. So it just goes to show that you see people every day, but you don't know their intention. So when they give you hints here, hints there, it's a wake up call for us to say we can sit down and take everything like lightly. You know, it's a wake up call. People give us hint every time. You know, look a hint here, look a hint there, or whatever. You know what I mean? They give it to you. But because it's petty, we ignore the pettiness and say, Chuck, you're just being petty. But I'm here to say petty behavior lead up to a lot more than you think that petty behavior is just. Chuck, are you being too sensitive? Chuck, no. Until you walk in those shoes and you realize that now, you know what I mean? So it's all good for bring awareness and let people know that hey, in anything we're doing, we just gotta be careful and always be on our alert, paying attention to our surrounding, paying attention to our properties and everything. Because even people looking in your eye every day, they're hurting you. You don't even know. They just look in your eyes every day, but you not looking in their eyes the way they're looking in your eyes. But they're taking you out of everything. You know, Jamaica, we normally say they're taking you out of grinding. So you will be right there and think so you're cool with this person and everything is good. But little did you know what they're doing to you. How many times you ever catch somebody staring at you, and when they're staring at you, sometimes they're staring at you so much that they glue it, like they glue to you, and you have to say, hey, you alright, man? Hey. Their mind is so wild and far, and because we can't read mind, that's the only power we don't got. You know, to read mind, we don't have that ability. We cannot read mind people. So you know, with all these things that's just wrapped up in people's head and their mental and everything, and then all the things that people taking that they can't even handle, then they start memorizing. They start look at people differently nowadays. Sometimes you see people looking at you, sometimes you have to act like you don't even see them. Sometimes you don't want to call to them because you don't want them to know that you know that they're looking at you. You have to play like you don't even see these people looking at you. But it's good to be on your alert. You don't have to say what you're looking at me for. No. You can just with your, if you want to let them know that, hey, I see you, you just look dead back at them. But if you want to just pay attention, the petty things that you see they do, then they will do it again. They'll be staring at you again. You know what I mean? And then you will know that you have to be on your alert. Because of the petty things people do first, and they know it's going to throw you off. Because it's like putting that bag on the car. Hey, I'm going to put this bag on this car, and I know this girl is going to come out and she just going to take that bag off and probably curse and then drag the bag off and throw it away, and she not going to think nothing of it. You know what I mean? That's the pettiness. And then they say, okay, we can do it again. Because once you just let it go, that's how they come back again. And they come back again because they try. They keep trying. You say, damn, that notification scared it. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It's 0313. Sorry. Oh, you know what I mean? So be careful, family out here. You know what I mean? We have to share this journey to let others, because you have a lot of young people out here too. They see sometimes the petty behavior of sometimes of their friends, their family, whosoever they are around that trying to harm them, and they don't think nothing of it. They say, no, we can just move it, and not realizing that's just a communication way, a non-verbal communication to tell you, hey, you have a lot more to see. You know what I mean? And true, we're not taking anything of it, like anything of think anything of it. Then that's what they do, and they stick their way and work their